Hi, welcome to my channel. Can you change your appearance with the law of attraction? Yes, you can. I have done it on several things. My main thing is I love like all of my anti-aging treatments and that kind of thing. And a few years ago, I started really getting into that when I kind of noticed that my face was changing. And obviously my face has changed. I've lost volume in my face. I used to have a little chubby face and I don't anymore, have a thin face. Things like that have changed over time. But I also noticed a lot of other things that I didn't particularly like. And it didn't matter what I did at the time. Nothing changed. There were lines appearing that just to come from nowhere and I couldn't get rid of them, and I was thinking I want to manifest getting rid of them, but what I didn't realise that I was doing was focusing on them too much, you're giving them too much attention. So on one hand I wanted to change things, and on the other hand I was noticing what I didn't like, and so it was basically amplifying it. So I was building an energy of what I didn't like, so I was having the energy of the things I didn't like. So on one hand I'm trying to get rid of it, and on the other hand I'm feeling it. So looking back now it seems crazy, but I didn't know what I know now. So I work with energy the whole time now. Everything is energy based as far as I'm concerned. Everything is manipulating an energy, influencing an energy to feel something different, to get something different. So I kind of started to think, yeah, I'm putting too much focus on these things. Didn't still quite know that it was an energetic thing as much as I do now, but did realise that that was what was going on. So I thought, okay, I have to stop. Basically, I started to get better. My self-concept was going through a real dip at the time, but I started to get better, thinking, hang on a minute, it's not the end of the world, this, you know, it's okay, just deal with it. And I had these different creams and things that I was using, and I had different machines and stuff that I was using. None of it at the time was making the slightest bit of difference. So I suddenly pulled myself back and thought, okay, I'm feeling like these things aren't making any difference. So I need to start telling myself that they are, that these machines are amazing, that the creams I'm using are amazing. You know, they're like magic potions, they're keeping me young, and they're doing this and they're doing that. So I started to tell myself a different story about the things that I was using in order to, I didn't want to radically change the way that I looked, but I didn't want to have any invasive stuff done. I do have a tiny bit of Botox here, I do, so let's be honest about that. But other than that, I don't have anything done at all. I have tried a filler in the past, a little bit years ago, but I haven't gone back to having that. I just don't fancy it. So I wanted to do all of that naturally, but I wanted to do it with manifesting it, but I backed it up with the different things that I was using. So I started taking my focus away from those things that I didn't like and deciding that what I wanted. So I had like a clear, it wasn't a mole, but it was a clear sort of lump here that I'd had since I was about 16, and I didn't like it. It didn't really show, you know, once I put my brows on, it didn't show. It didn't bother me that much, but I didn't want it there anymore, and I'd been trying to get rid of that and I hadn't been able to. So I kind of just gave up on that and thought, oh, well, that's not a big deal anyway. So stopped particularly noticing it, and then one day I was penciling in my brows and it was gone. It was gone completely, it's gone. All of those years there, completely gone, because I'd taken my focus away from it basically. So my subconscious knew that I wanted it gone because I dropped that in there, and because I'd taken away can't keep noticing it all the time and the energy of having it there, it went. Second thing I did was, when I was going through this really bad time, I'm going to try and find some photos of this that I can put up for you, I think, maybe on the community post, or maybe I can put them in here if I can find them in time. So when I was going through my bad time, there was nothing wrong with my teeth whatsoever. But I saw a photograph of myself that I didn't like, and I thought, I think it was this tooth was set back too far, I decided, and it didn't look right. But this was when my self-concept was very, very low. So instead of me looking at all of the pictures where my tooth looked fine, I just focused on this one. And I went to my dentist and I said, oh, I want you to bring that tooth forward. Now he had no reason to think that was a bit odd, because he could see that I wanted it made perfect lines. So, you know, and he didn't know what I was going through at the time. So yeah, he did it, and it cost me a lot of money, and he did it, and I didn't like it. As soon as it was done, I thought, well, that's not me. And it had this gap running down because he brought it forward. It wasn't tucked underneath the other tooth, and I didn't like this gap down the side. It was only very slight, but didn't like it, never liked it, kept noticing, thinking, what did I do? What have I done? And as my self-concept started to improve and I started to feel much, much better about myself, I could see that I made a huge mistake, that I had done that by looking at one photograph when all of the other photographs were absolutely fine. And I could see why it happened. And I thought, okay, right, I want that gap gone. I want that gap gone. And then a little time went by and it hadn't gone. And then I thought to myself, well, look, you know, I'm lucky enough to be in a financial position where I can have it put back, which seems kind of crazy and a little bit embarrassing going back to my dentist going, can you put it back where it was? I'm just going to pay another, I don't know, £1,500 or £2,000, whatever it was, to get it put back. But I thought, you can do that. That's fine. You can do that. As soon as I felt that relief of, yeah, I can just go and get that done, I got up the next morning and it had moved, and so the gap wasn't there anymore. There was no gap there at all. And it was only a fraction. We're talking about a millimetre or a millimetre and a half, and it moved and so it just moved into the old tooth. When I say it, it kind of sounds crazy, but you guys are into it, aren't you? So you don't think I'm crazy. And so I was like, whoa. So I was really happy with that, the fact that it had moved. But then I did look at it and think, actually, I would like it set back. I want it to go back to being imperfect, because it was perfect. And I wanted that little bit of imperfection back. And I thought, am I going to manifest that or what? And then I thought, no, I'm just going to go to the dentist and get it done, get it put back. I was so amazed that I'd done that. I closed the gap. So it was about 2 months later when I went back to my dentist, explained the situation of why I'd had it done in the first place. He said, oh my God, you know, if I'd realised that, I wouldn't have done it. Are you sure you want this done? Are you sure you want this? And I went, yeah, I do. Because, okay, so let's be practical about this. I think at that time when I did this, was a couple of years ago, I would have had a little bit of a limiting belief that I knew it was possible because I'd closed that gap. I knew it was possible for that tooth to move back. But I thought there might be something in there that would kind of think that's a bit too radical, a bit too huge, even though on an intellectual level I knew it was possible. So I just dealt with it practically and had it done, and I'm really, really happy with it. I absolutely love my teeth now. So, you know, I am really glad that I did it, and I was lucky enough to, and I have an amazing dentist, I really do. So I really trust him, and he will always do what's best for me. We had a big, long discussion about anxiety when I went there too, which was really great. I was in there such a long time. So I did that, but I will hopefully be able to find the photos where you can see, and it is only a slight change, but it was enough to be like, whoa, to me. Okay, so I did those two major changes. Anti-aging, I really believe that I have made a huge difference to my face, because I am 51. When I put this video out, I'm probably going to be 51. Yeah, I will be 51. And I really feel that it's difficult, isn't it, to say, or both say, oh, I think I look really young. I don't think I look 51, if I'm perfectly honest. But then again, what does 51 look like? I see other people, my friends and that same age, I don't think they look it either. So I'm constantly seeing people around me that don't look their age, and I'm always feeling that. So I'm feeling I don't look my age, and I'm seeing other people think, oh, they look amazing. I'm always seeing people that look amazing for their age, because I'm kind of manifesting that. So I changed my belief in what these machines and stuff were doing. Well, do you know what? It's difficult to change an actual assumption, but you can change a story that you tell yourself. So I realised the story I was telling myself, none of this works. So I started saying, it works. It works. Because there was something I was doing that was taking an action which was helping me to believe that it works. So what has it done for me? Okay, well, I do facial exercise too, and I do facial massage and all that stuff because I love it. But I have found that it's significantly helped improve this area here, definitely, because that's the area that drops as you get older, without me having any filler or anything like that. And I believe it's a combination of the things I'm doing and the belief that I have that these things are making a difference. So it's good if you can take some kind of action, because it really helps. It really helps with that kind of belief that you'll be able to change something. But the lump here and stuff like that, I couldn't take any action for that, and I didn't have to. All I did was take my focus away from it. Another thing that you can do, which really helps hugely, is to give love to those areas that you don't like. So instead of at the moment giving a dislike to it, so you're giving it a negative energy at the moment, and it's like anything, like I don't have this, I've got an electric car at the moment, but when I've had problems with cars in the past and something has happened, I have given my car love, because I've thought, I'm not going to get mad with my car, because then I'm giving my car bad energy, so it's not going to get better. So I once had this really bad rattle in my car. Rattling, it's old Audi that I had, and I thought, oh my God. And I thought, oh no, and I was on my way to work, and I thought, no, this is not happening. So I turned off the engine, and I thought, when I turn the engine back on, this is not going to be happening, because I can't deal with this at the moment. Gave my car some love, come on car, you can do this, you know I love you, and all of that. Turned it on, stopped. That's happened a couple of times with that car, actually, where I've just sort of cured it by giving it love. You don't really cure something by giving it hate and giving it bad feelings. So if you give an area that you don't like some love and think, okay, think of it as an entity, and if it was some person in your life, some poor person that was struggling, you wouldn't give it hate, would you? You would give them love, you wouldn't give them hate. So you give them a bit of love, you give that area love. That doesn't mean you're saying you want it to stay there. You are just giving it a different energy, giving the situation, whatever it is that you don't like, a different energy. So finding a reason why, if you're feeling like you want to lose weight and you can't lose weight, start giving your body love, start loving your body and telling your body why it's great for you and the great things that it does for you, and sort of shifting that energy around, oh my God, you know, I can't lose this weight, whatever I do, it's not going, and give your body permission to let go of that weight. I'm sorry if this sounds a bit woo-woo, but you know, it's anything that works, isn't it? And what you're doing, you're looking for is a change in energy. You're just looking for an energetic shift that then changes stuff on the outside. So yes, I have changed things. I think I have fairly significant, well, I don't look different than I did 3 years ago or something like that, but there are things about me that I wanted to change, that I wanted to look a certain way, that I now notice do look a certain way. So I wanted to keep this area smooth under here because that's the area that we age, isn't it? And that area is very smooth. My friend commented on that the other day. She said, you don't have anything, and any like fine lines under your eyes. And I said, no, I don't. I'm really lucky that way. I didn't go on and go, oh yes, because I manifested that, because she thinks I'm mad as it is, so I don't say that, but I know that I have, because I feel that area being my most youthful area of my face. So I feel that I give that energy, youthful under eyes. I feel youthful under eyes. I feel lifted cheeks, so I feel the energy of lifted cheeks. But changing your appearance and anything about you, you have to change the energy. So if you have an energy around it that's lackful, that's like, okay, I want this to look like this, but you keep feeling how it looks at the moment, that's what you're going to keep seeing, because that's the energy that you are creating, and that's what you have to see back. So until you change that energy, you won't see a change in you. So for me, it's a case of giving that area love and thinking, okay, it's not the end of the world, is it? Okay, give it some love as if it's an entity, as if it's a part of me in its own right, if you know what I mean, because that really, really helps to give it some love and change that energy around it. And that's when you see changes. I've seen changes because I've taken my focus away, and then I thought, oh, that's not there anymore. Like things like keep my neck as tight as possible for my age and things like that. You know, really speaking, logically for my age, I should have lots of sagging here. But I don't do anything with my neck either. I don't use my machines on my neck or anything like that. It's not perfect, but you know, it's as good as it can be, because I just took my focus away from the things that I didn't like and thought, I can't focus on them and keep looking at them and noticing what I don't like if I want it to change. So I either have to take my focus away completely and then I'll notice a change, or I have to give it some love, change the energy around it. So changing your appearance comes with changing energetically within you. So how can I describe it better? You can go and do my energy course on my members area. That will really, really help. Best way to describe it. So let's say you've got a mark on your face. This is just an example that you don't like, and you're trying to manifest it away. It's gone. My skin is clear. I don't have this mark anymore. Or, you know, my skin looks perfect. Whatever it is that you're doing, stop doing that. And just think, how do I feel energetically? Can I feel the energetic version of this mark on my face? You will be able to, and that's what will keep it there. Yeah, I can. Okay, so how would it feel if I didn't have that feel? You know, if I didn't have the mark, if I was free of it, if it was gone, if I had clear skin, what would that energy be? And you try and evoke that energy within, and you go, okay, yeah, feel it for a bit, and then give your mark on your face love. Just give it some love. I'm really sorry that I've been so horrible to you. I'm really sorry. I give you permission to go, but in the meantime, while you're here, I'm going to give you some love. And just change. It just changes you energetically. If that sounds crazy, I'm sorry, but you know, what harm does it do to give it a go? That's what I say. It doesn't do you any harm. Give it a go and see. Right, that's it. I could go on and on, couldn't I? This was a requested video, and I didn't quite know how I was going to structure it, and it hasn't been very structured, so I'm really sorry about that. I will tell you one thing that I did years ago. Now, I can never be 100% sure whether this was actually there or I was going through a really hard time. So I just had Harry, well, I think Harry was about 6 months or something. And I was suffering really high levels of anxiety. I was getting panic attacks. It was not a good time in my life. I wasn't working at the time. I was due to go, at the time, I was not working, and then I was due to go back and work on, do a job share with a girl that I'd used to work with on a magazine, because I used to work for a publishing company, and then that magazine went bust. It was Total Football. It went bust. The magazine went, basically. The magazine went bust, but they dropped the magazine because the readership wasn't high enough at that time. So that chance went. And so I felt really gutted about that, because I was really looking forward to going back and working within that company, because I really like working for that company, and it was just the right amount of hours and that sort of thing. So it didn't happen. So that set me back. So I was not in a good place. And this was before I started working for myself. Anyway, I had a terrible diet, really terrible diet. I was just eating chocolate all of the time. I wasn't drinking enough water. I got up one morning, went to get ready and had these marks on some of my teeth. So white patchy marks, and they looked a mess. And I thought, oh my God. And I got really distressed, because I've always been a bit of a one for my appearance. I really did get distressed, and I stepped away from the mirror, and I knew about this, and then I thought, oh my God, like, this is my diet. And I thought, no, you're gonna look back in the mirror and it's gonna be gone. It's gonna be completely gone. And I really felt that overwhelming feeling, I can't have this, and I'm good at doing this actually with very similar things, can't have this. And I look back again, they were completely gone, my teeth were completely back to normal. I can't be 100% sure whether it was never there in the first place, because I was going through a hard time. I was anxious, but I wasn't really seeing things that weren't there. But I can never be 100% sure that, but I think from the bottom of my heart, I think that's really what happened. I think my diet was so bad, and I think that I was dehydrated and all kinds of things were going on there. Perhaps if I drank lots of water, it would have got better by itself. But anyway, I think that that's what's happened, that I did strongly think it's gone. That's it, it is gone. And I kind of willed it away and looked back and it gone. So I kind of did know within me that I'd done that, but I had that bit of doubt that, was it that you were just so bad at the time that you were seeing something that wasn't there? I can't be 100% sure, but looking at it now, I think I'm 99% sure that I did that with that feeling. But anyway, there you go. I'm going to stop waffling on, and thanks for watching.